What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday, and you know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife chat goes down here on Tuesday, and I am so excited about this wife chat. So you guys know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do. You know to share, 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 share. And let me just tell you, I do this in my own marriage. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Just hit me up in the chat and let me know where you're joining me from. Hello. It is Tuesday and this is wife chat. And this today does not come from a wife. This is something that I think we should do in our marriages on a continuous basis. And again, you guys, thank you so much. Make sure that you hit me up in the chat and let me know where you're joining me from. I think that we should do this. Hi Kiana. Hi, Tyra. How are you guys doing? Frederick, you know I live in Frederick. Anyway, hi, Tyra. I didn't know you live in Frederick. Thank you so much for following me from my little town here in Frederick. Hi, Kiana. I hope I see that you're doing your thing with your houses. Yes. So if you guys on here and looking for a realtor, hit Kiana up here on Facebook. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure that you're hitting the share button. But I wanted to come on here because we're in the middle of the year. Can you believe it? Actually, a little past the middle of the year. And I always do this in my own marriage twice a year. And it's called the marriage checkup. And it's 5 questions you should ask your spouse. And I say tonight, what's up, Tori? I was enjoying your pictures from your vow renewal, and you look absolutely gorgeous. You really did. I just wanted to tell you that. But again, happy anniversary as well too, Tori. But again, I think that you should do this twice a year with your spouse, because as you guys know, I get the opportunity to talk to wives from around the world. And I believe if we ask these questions, and these 5 questions are questions that I ask Gail twice a year, right? And they're questions that you have to be prepared to hear the answers from, but it's called the marriage checkup. 5 questions you should ask your spouse today, right? And so hopefully you guys will, write these down or go back and watch the video. But these are questions that, like I said, I was not asking. And, for you guys who follow me, I'm very transparent. I was crazy in my marriage. We done been through a whole lot: financial devastation, infidelity, loss of a child, you name it. We done it, and we're still standing 33 years later. So anyway, the first question that you should ask: is there anything that I say or do that hurts you? Is there anything that I say or do that hurts you, right? And this is one that it was hard. And, for you guys that follow me, know that I asked Gil this question, and this was years into our marriage. He's like, you parade everybody into our bedroom, and that's a sacred place and all this kind of stuff. So from doing these marriage checkups, I had no idea that me parading people up to my bedroom, and we would just be hanging out, bothered him, right? And so just those kind of things, because remember this: women spew, men stew. Women spew because we get things off our chest. Men just sit with it, and when it's time, they explode. Okay, and he didn't explode on me, but I was just shocked. I'm like, I've been bringing people to our room for years, and he's like, I know, and that's always bothered me. I'm like, why did you wait all this time? He said, because you never asked me a question, right? You never asked me the question. So is there anything that I say or do that hurts you or bother you, right? Hurts you or bothers you, right? And that was one of the things that bothered him, right? And the other thing that I would say or do that I found out years later that hurt him was that when I would go off and act a fool and cuss him out in front of our children that was younger, male children that were younger at the time, right? Because his thing was, I never wanted my kids, my sons, to look at me and think, for one, that behavior was okay for a woman to treat them and talk to him them like they did in front of me, right? How you do me. And the second thing is I didn't never want them to see me as a weak father and letting their mother just talk to them any kind of way. So that was hurtful for him. And I learned these things doing this checkup, right? So the first thing is anything that I say or do hurts you or bothers you. Number two, is there something I used to do that I wish you still did? Is there anything that I used to do that you wish that I still did? And that's where the cooking came in for me, right? He's like, gee, when we first got married and stuff, you used to cook all the time. And I absolutely love you cooking. And at the time, I was working a full-time job, trying to start bringing sexy back to the marriage. And I was just overwhelmed or whatever. But when I asked this question, he's like, I would just like for us to be able to sit down and have a home cooked meal. He said, you don't have to cook every day, but I just would like for you to cook, right? So we can sit down and have a meal as a family. So let me just tell you, Monday through Thursday, Gail Crowder cooks. Unless I'm sick or, on vacation or something like that, I cook because I too enjoy sitting down as a family and having discussions. We don't have no phones on, we just enjoy each other as a family. And when my nieces came to live with us, they had never experienced that. And so now it's a pleasure for us to sit down as a family and to have dinner and to interact. So that's another thing that came out from this checkup. Because let me just tell you, if you don't start having communication, asking the hard questions and be prepared for the answers, let me just tell you, a lot of other women will listen and they will implement. They will listen and they will implement. I'm just throwing that out there. They will listen and they will implement. All right. Number three, do you feel like there is an area in our marriage where God is missing, right? Do you feel that there's an area in our marriage that God is missing, right? And I'm very much aware that some women are married to men that are not saved, right? But as a wife, you can pray your husband into the kingdom. And let me just tell you, Gail prayed me into the kingdom. Gail lived before me. He prayed for me. And the more he prayed for me, the worse I began to act. But at the end of the day, Gail seen a call on my life before I seen a call on my life. And so when I ask this question, I say, is there an area that God is missing? And we found out God was missing in our finances. God was missing, on how we treated each other. When it came to intimacy, I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about intimacy, because God really is intimate with us, right? And I wanted to experience how I get intimate with God when I'm praying and interceding for marriages all over the world. I wanted that same thing to happen in my marriage, right? And so we decided that we wanted the same kind of intimacy that we have with God in our personal lives, that it went on in our marriage. So whatever that looks like for you, right? And your husband might be, when you ask this question, he might be like, well, I'm good, right? But my question is, are you saved? Would you like me to lead you to Christ? Whatever that looks like for you, have the conversation. Number 4, what would you change about our sex life? Y'all knew I was going to ask that question, right? What would you change about our sex life, right? And that opened up a whole big different door for us, right? Because the thing is that to me, our sex life back then, when I first started asking the question, what had just became routine, the same old same, no spice, no nothing or whatever, right? And so the thing is, we made the list, what I'm absolutely willing to try, right? What I'm willing to explore and what absolutely I'm not willing to do. And I walk couples through that, right? Or wives that I work with, right? And so we decided to put all the stuff that we're willing to explore and try in a jar, and we just pick, right? And it makes it fun. It makes it spontaneous and all of those different kind of things. And so again, what would you want to change about your sex life? For me, it had became boring, the same old. And so we decided to do something about it. right? And if you're in a rut when it comes to your sex life, do something about it. Because again, they're inundated every single day with all kind of sexy scenes and all kind of different things. You know, I'm working with a couple of couples now that are dealing with pornography, and it's because their sex lives they got, you know, boring, and we know pornography is a spirit and all of those different kind of things. But you want to make sure that you keep your sex life spicy. And if you or, you know, if you ask the question, be prepared for the answer. And if you say, well, there's, you know, it's the same old, or you know, we're not trying no different, try something new in your bedroom. And number 5, is there anything you need from me that I'm not giving you? Is there anything that you need from me that I'm not giving you? And this is one of the hardest questions, because again, you got to be prepared for the answer. Because if he says, you're not giving me affection, you're not giving me quality time, you're not giving me X, Y, or whatever that is, right? Be prepared. And when you, before you respond, sit down and think about how you can give them what they want. Or if it's not possible for you to do that, tell them why and have a concrete answer why you're not able to do that. Just don't say, well, I'm sorry, I can't, right? Because that's not how they work. That's not how they work. And let me just tell you, doing a marriage checkup is so important. It is so important for yourself, because you're able to gauge. And again, a lot of times when you do this, you're able to ward off a lot of things that could be going on in your marriage. And a lot of times people say, I didn't see it coming. Yes, you did. Or you just stuck your head in the sand, or you didn't ask the right questions, or you just said, okay, you know, I'm good with however it ends up. But if you really want a quality marriage, you need to ask these questions, and you need to do it at least twice a year. Okay? And my prayer is that these questions have sparked something in you and get you to thinking about, how can I be better, right? How can I do better? And really want to, right? Hello, Johanna. How is everybody doing? I appreciate you guys hopping on, and I appreciate you sharing. So again, let me go through these 5 questions really quick, and then I'm going to get off of here. But again, I thank you guys so much for joining me. I thank you so much for sharing. The first question is there anything that I say or do that hurts you or bother you? Number 2, is there something that I used to do that you wish I still did? Number 3, do you feel like there's an area in our marriage where God is missing? Number 4, what would you change about our sex life? And number 5, is there anything you need from me that I'm not giving you? Is there anything that you need from me that I'm not giving you? And again, be prepared for the answers. Be prepared for the answers, and be prepared to make some changes, right? Be prepared to make some changes, because again, this is your time to really get the true feelings and to understand where you are and to gauge the temperature in your marriage. Okay. Woohoo, that last one. I know that last one is hard, Tyra. I understand it is, but it's a really important one. And it's one that a lot of women don't want to ask, and we don't want to do anything about. But again, if you really want your marriage to thrive, you have to do these at least twice a year. Okay. And again, I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so. Yes, it is hard, but it's important. You're right, Tori. But again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for hopping on. I appreciate you for all your support. Let me just tell you guys, I'm gonna put it out there. I just inked BSB 2022. It will be live instead of virtual. And the thing is that I have to limit the amount of women who's going to be coming. So I know there's a few of you that are loyal to bringing sexy back to the marriage, and I'm so grateful and I appreciate it. But when I put up the page and put up the link, I want you guys to register right away. Again, if you know, for God forbid we do a shutdown or something like that, y'all know I ain't gonna take your money or nothing like that. I will refund your money. But again, I have to limit, you know, BSB usually have 100, 150 or so people there, but I have to limit it to 85 this year because I want to do social distancing and I want to make sure we still have fun, but I also want to make sure that, you know, we're in compliance. And so I want, you know, once I start putting it out there, which it'll probably be at the beginning of September, if you are thinking about coming, register, because again, y'all know when I start putting it through my email list and all my other channels, it's going to fill up really quickly. So again, I love you guys to pieces. If you need me, need me, please reach out to me. I will go back to my list of questions from wives from around the world next week, but I really wanted to do this marriage checkup because I meant to do it last month and I didn't. So I wanted to come on here. Okay. You said, thanks, Gail. Okay. BSB 2022. It just sounds so crazy. Thank you so much. Replay. Thank you so much, Johanna. Make sure you guys share this because other wives need to know that. But again, soon as I put the link out for BSB 2022, it actually, just so you guys will know, it will actually be in Gaithersburg, Maryland. And so, like I said, all the information will be up on the page. We're going to be leveling up. I have some amazing teachers and speakers that's going to pour into you guys. God has given me some things since, you know, I recovered and everything like that. So I love you guys to pieces. I will see you guys next week on Tuesday. Have an amazing, amazing week. If you need me, you know how to get in contact with me. Lord have mercy.